Hi everyone. I need to update you on Julian Assange's situation there because his latest case management hearing was yesterday and today at Westminster Court. I couldn't be there, unfortunately, today, but somebody I trust, um, that's Mohammed Elomar, you've friend of the show. This is his website. This is his own website, the Interregnum, and I just want to update you on some good news. We think. Switch over to this, take my image away. So read it with me. So, judges' acceptance of complexity of Assange's case is an important win, says historian John Rees, the Interregnum. In a surprise development, District Judge Vanessa Barreza, I think that's how you pronounce her name, seems to have accepted that main extradition hearing will take weeks rather than days, though she still refuses to assist with Assange's prison conditions. John Rees of the Don't Extradite Assange campaign, and also of I think the Stop the War Coalition, prominent in, says he has seen a positive shift in the case of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Rees, a historian and activist, attended Assange's latest case management hearing held on the morning of 19th of December at Westminster Magistrates Court. He explained that District Judge Vanessa Barreza appears to have now accepted that the case is very complex and involves fundamental questions of law and justice. It says here that the main hearing will now be held over 3 to 4 weeks. You may remember she only earmarked 1 week, this case, in February. That's all that was earmarked to begin with. They've argued this is the biggest, this is a big threat to the fundamentals of law and press freedom, and they've now extended it to 3 to 4 weeks. And it seems from the reports that the American authorities were very unhappy with that, because there was in the transcript, she literally had to say, well, it seems to me like you've got a schedule to keep. Words to that effect, you see what I mean? I've been saying that all along. I'll continue with this article from Mohammed Elomar. He said at the case management hearing, Judge Barreza announced that the main extradition hearing will now be scheduled to be held over 3 to 4 weeks after initially scheduling it for around 5 days. Judge Barreza's decision followed the defence's submission of 40,000 pages worth of documents separated in 5 separate court bundles. Well done, Assange's lawyers. So these are the bundles that they're categorized on, the pages. There's the 1917 USA Espionage Act, under which Assange faces 175 years of prison. Of course, this is a secret court of which Assange can't even mount a defence. He can't even say, yes, I'm guilty and this is why I did it. The extenuating case. He can't even say that. He has no right to reply in it at all. This is a secret court, where the army, the forces say, this is the evidence, this is what we think he did, and all the jury is picked from that district in Virginia as well, so they're all connected to the military. You see my point. This is a kangaroo court he faces over there in Virginia. And then the next bundle of evidence that they've compiled is proceedings as they relate to ex-military whistleblower Chelsea Manning, who of course at the moment is in prison in the United States for not testifying against her publisher, WikiLeaks, and Julian Assange, and being fined $1,000 a day and having to sell her house, etc. It's cruel and unusual punishment they're punishing on her. She's already served. She's already been tortured for I think 6 years in prison before Barack Obama commuted her sentence. The next stack of bundles in the pages that they've put forward his lawyers is the medical evidence from 3 distinguished psychiatrists. Obviously, you recently heard about the 65 doctors who had signed a letter saying that he could die in prison imminently, get the right medical care. And then there's the Spanish judicial investigations as they relate to the bugging of Assange's conversations with his lawyers in the Ecuadorian embassy. That's key, that is, because obviously they spied on him, the CIA spied on him, they had access to that server in Spain, and, obviously meetings with his lawyers, confidential meetings, secret meetings, you see what I mean. This is a clear breach of human rights. Public statements by US officials denouncing Assange, of course, and trial issues and prison conditions. Judge Baraitser also said that for reasons of open justice, she decided that Belmarsh Magistrates Court, which can seat more people, is the appropriate venue for the main part of the extradition hearing to be held next year, and she remains unwilling to intervene with Belmarsh Prison Authority or authorities, even though there is a precedent. There has a precedent has been set where it was highlighted. I think it was only last week where somebody in Belmarsh, a judge actually intervened and got them better access to their case and lawyers. Judge intervened. There is precedent there, but she still refuses to do it. I just want to switch over to Mohammed Elmar's Twitter. You can see here he's done interviews outside as well. It's great. What would you expect from a reporter such as Mohammed? He says Judge Baraitser has now understood Julian Assange's case is a complex trial involving absolutely fundamental questions of law and justice, and that's what John Rees said. And I'll play this for you now.
I think the judge has shifted her position considerably. At the last case management hearing, she said, okay, this is only going to be a week's trial. I'm going to consider guillotining any submissions for the trial. Now she's saying, okay, this is going to take 3, perhaps 4 weeks. I'm not necessarily going to guillotine the submissions. I think what she's understood really is that this is a very complex trial that involves absolutely fundamental questions of law and justice, that she's got to give it time to be heard properly. And I think that's an important win for Julian Assange's defence team and an important blow towards a fair trial.
As you can see there, he's saying that this is a win. This is extending the trial to 4 weeks. Obviously more, there's more time for the defence to actually put up a defence. It looks like this side of the Atlantic is the only way he's going to get any resemblance of a fair trial. And obviously, the more pressure that we can put on people, the better. So that's a bit of good news. The bad news is Mohammed Elomar also interviewed somebody else outside the magistrates court, and that is Tabak Ali, who had this to say.
Julian, since he was taken into prison. I last saw him at the embassy. He's not looking well. He's looking listless, resigned, clearly wrecked by the conditions in which he's being kept in prison. He shouldn't be in. No two ways about it. He should be out. But even if they insist on keeping him in prison, it should be an open prison with facilities for his family to see him regularly when they want, his friends, and most importantly, his lawyers. Denying lawyers regular access to the prison is unacceptable, and it's up to the magistrate and judges to instruct prison governors how they expect prisoners to be treated. This magistrate refuses to do so. Others have been less reluctant in other cases, as Gareth Pierce has pointed out, and have rung the governor and instructed him to allow certain things to be done. So on that front, there's been no big. But you know, the Daily Mail coming out for Julian Assange is not something small. And you've now not just got liberal newspapers like The Guardian and New York Times writing about this trial and attacking its premises. And in the case of the New York Times saying that the First Amendment of the American Constitution is under threat. But you've now also got the Daily Mail. And hopefully that will have a bigger impact on conservative magistrates, lawyers, judicial officers, etc.
Thank you. As you can hear there from Tabak, he doesn't look well. Julian does. In his words, he looks wrecked. He thinks that he should be in an open prison. I don't think he should be in prison after all. But this is a win. Obviously, the case having more time to be presented in defence of Julian Assange. Obviously, 3 to 4 weeks is now something that he's not going to be able to get swept under the rug as quickly. All the eyes of the world are going to be on it. I hear that MPs from around the world, from different countries, multiple different countries from around the world, will be coming to his main extradition hearing in February to oversee the case. And so this is all looking much more positive now for Julian Assange's plight. But we have to keep the pressure up. Remember, Chris Williamson led a campaign to get MPs to sign an early day motion, of which I was trying to push, but obviously we've got new MPs now. Many of us have got new MPs. I'm one of them. I've got a Conservative MP for the first time in my adult life, I think. So I'll be obviously writing a letter to her and urging her to come out in support of Julian Assange and ask questions of her government and their treatment of him. And I suggest you all do the same, especially if your MP has changed and you wrote one previous to the election on December the 12th. So this is, I think, the first bit of good news, the first bit of really good news in the Julian Assange case for quite some time.